Hey, what's shaking, boys and girls? Brad the Guitologist here. In this video, we're going to take a look at this Crybaby Classic. Today's video is sponsored by Native Sons Goods, makers of the highest quality woven guitar, bag, and camera straps you'll ever see. Native Sons straps are handmade one at a time in the USA with unparalleled love and care. Click the link in the description to check out their new expanded lineup featuring all new 3-inch guitar straps. And remember, when you support my sponsor, you support this channel, and I sure appreciate it. This was brought to me by TJ Armstrong. TJ Armstrong is the bass player that I interviewed a few videos back. He is the bass player for Johnny Hiland, who is the chicken picking extraordinaire. This actually belongs to Johnny. They were cleaning out his jam space, I suppose, and Johnny was moving from Nashville to Virginia to be closer to his wife's family and stuff, and just cleaning out the jam space. This was something that I think Dunlop gave him. But anyway, it doesn't work, and he said it didn't work for the longest time, and he didn't know why it didn't work, or he'd just forgotten all about it or whatever. So we're going to take this thing apart, see what's going on with it. And apparently this is one that has the Fasel Inductor in it. I don't know why that inductor would be better than a regular bog standard inductor. But apparently it's Italian made, and something's different about it. So I don't know. I don't know if they use just different gauges of wire or if they use more turns or what the deal is. I mean, to me, an inductor is a freaking inductor, but you know, maybe it has a slightly different Henry value or something to the inductor, and it just changes the tone of the thing. I really don't know. So maybe we'll try to figure that out. We'll do a little bit of research and see what makes a Fasel inductor so special. Also, we'll look here. Maybe there's some literature on it in here. I don't know. Here's an owner's manual. It does say something about it there, but not really. Okay, so apparently this is the GCB-95F with the Fasel Inductor. The regular one is just the GCB-95. So let's pop this baby open and see what's going on with it. If I could find a schematic and everything for this, or if I can even, if the components are just able to be easily located and tested, I should be able to figure out what's going on with it. But, you know, as far as knowing, you know, why this wah is better than their other classic wah, I just don't know. I'm not up and up on this crap. Maybe somebody who's into pedals can comment below and tell me what the difference is supposed to be. I can tell right off the bat that it looks like maybe somebody has been into this before, because it is kind of warped a little bit on this plate. Here is the inductor. That's the thing that apparently has the magic juice. I mean, like I said, to me an inductor is pretty much just an inductor unless it has a different Henry value. I don't know. Well, let's see. PCA Crybaby Classic. There's your part number. And just a visual inspection will usually turn up issues on pedals. 9 times out of 10 you can just do a visual inspection on a guitar pedal and usually figure out what the problem is just with a visual inspection. So I don't see anything so far. But then again, we haven't even tested it, so I don't even know what it's doing or not doing. This one's not even soldered in. Look at that, from the factory. Is that even soldered in at all? No, that's moving. Look at that. Ha! Hang on. Don't tell me it's that easy. I mean, that sure looks to me like that's a bad solder joint from the factory. Yeah, see, that's not a good solder joint. I'll tell you what, before we go any further, I'm going to leave it as is for the moment. And we'll definitely put some solder on it before we seal it back up. But I want to see what this thing is doing or not doing. Okay. So here we go. Let's plug it into my desk amp. Obviously it's working now. Let's see. Okay, well that's interesting. It seems to be working fine. I don't know if it's because I moved that I don't know if it's because I moved that little diode or not. I mean, there's definitely no solder on this side of the board at all on that diode. I mean, this is a little bit loose. I'll put a little dab of hot glue actually on that connector right there, because that's definitely loose. That's looser than I would probably want it to be. Because if that jarred loose during a show or something, that would not be good. Also, I wanted to say while I'm working on this thing, we recently lost Jim Dunlop, who you know, was the brains behind Dunlop and Crybaby wah pedals, and it's just, you know, a sad thing this year that we lost Jim Dunlop. And I just wanted to say, you know, thank you, Jim Dunlop, for all that you did in your lifetime for guitarists and the science of guitar. So yeah, with that out of the way, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just put a dab of solder on that component, and I'll put a dab of hot glue on right here on this connector. This connector seems okay, and I think this thing is going to be fine. I mean, sometimes you can ferret out problems too by just flexing boards. But this one doesn't seem to have any problems at all. Okay, first things first, let's add a little bit of solder to this. And let's actually turn it off. Let's do that first. Let's not solder on it with the power applied to the board. Rule number 1. So that's definitely soldered now, if it wasn't before. I just want to briefly look at the rest of this and just see if there's anything else in need of additional solder, and I don't see anything offhand. Yeah, I'm just not seeing anything that would need any solder. And also, just wasn't acting like it really had much of an issue, you know. It very well could be that there was something wrong with that diode and it wasn't in there properly, and it just wasn't, you know, getting good connection. It also could be that this wasn't getting good connection, this little connector right here. So it's right now it's just so loose. You could see I'm just barely even touching it, and it's just kind of, I mean, I should have to really tug on that to get that off of there, and I'm not really having to do much at all to get that off of there. So, you know, this is one of those situations where if you know, kick, stomp, and throw this thing in and out of your bag and everything, and you get to a show and you kind of just drop it down on the floor and it kind of slams the wrong way, and this thing, you know, sort of springs loose, then you've got nothing, you know. Or if you stomp on it, you know, hard in the middle of your solo and it's just barely hanging on at the time and you just kick it the right way, you might find that you have nothing. So you definitely don't want that situation. Okay, just a final check on this thing. I have a wall wart plugged in over there and no battery. And it works with that as well. So yeah, pretty easy fix. I don't see any other issues with this, so it's ready to go back.